The 12 Labours of Hercules.
Hercules was a Greek hero. In his most famous myth, he had to complete 12 challenges called labours. The Nemean lion. At his first labour, Hercules was challenged to kill the Nemean lion.
Its skin could not be penetrated by spears or arrows. Hercules blocked off the entrances to the lion's cave, crawled into the close confines where it would have to fight face to face, and throttled it to death with his bare hands.
The Hydra. Hercules was to seek out and destroy the monstrous and many-headed Hydra. The Hydra's breath was lethal. Even smelling its footprints was enough to kill an ordinary man. Hercules was no ordinary man. He sought out the monster in its lair. It called on an ally, a huge crab that also lived in the swamp. The crab bit Hercules in the heel and snap. This further slowed his attack. But that didn't stop Hercules from ripping off the rest of the Hydra's heads. Now he was dead. The crab burnt to death in lava.
The Cernation Hind. Hercules was told to capture or kill the Cernation Hind. The deer ripped off his foot. Hercules pushed off his horns and kicked off his head.
Hercules killed the Cernation Hind and made Artemis a bit displeased, but he escaped her wrath by blaming it on Eurystheus, his taskmaster.
The Hermanthian boar. The fourth labour took Hercules back to Arcadia in quest of an enormous boar, which he was challenged to bring back alive.
Hercules finally located the boar on Mount Erymanthus and managed to drive it into a snowbank. Immobilizing it, flinging it up onto his shoulder, he carried it back to Eurystheus, who cowered as usually in his storage jar.
The Augean stables.
Hercules was very pleased with himself for dreaming up the next labour. Hercules was to clean out the stables for King Augean one single day.
Hercules diverted 2 rivers through the stable yard and got the job done.
The Stymphalian birds.
The sixth labour pitted Hercules against the Stymphalian birds who inhabited a marsh near Lake Stymphalius in Arcadia. These birds feasted on human flesh and killed men by shooting them with their feathers of brass. Hercules could not approach the birds to fight them. The ground was too swampy to bear the weight and too mucky to wade through. When they were in the air, he brought them down by a dozen with his arrows.
The Cretan bull. It was a seventh labour, and he had to fight the bull in the Crete countryside.
The hero overpowered it and shipped it back to the mainland. It ended up near Athens for Theseus to deal with it once more.
The mares of Diomedes.
Next, Hercules was instructed to bring Eurystheus the mares of Diomedes. These horses dined on the flesh of travellers who made the mistake of accepting his hospitality. Hercules pacified the beasts by feeding them their own master and killing their leader. Hercules soon rounded them up and herded them down to the sea, where he embarked for home. Once he had shown them to Eurystheus, he released them.
The Hippolyte's belt. The ninth labour took Hercules to the land of the Amazonians. The Amazonians were a race of warrior women, great archers who have invented art of fighting from horseback. Hercules recruited a number of heroes to accompany him on this expedition. Along with them Theseus, and Theseus kidnapped the Amazonian princess.
The cattle of Gyron. Gyron, the owner of some famous cattle that Hercules was now instructed to steal and kill. This labour took place somewhere in the country we know as Spain.
Hercules drove the remaining herd back to Greece, but taking the wrong turn along the way and passing through Italy.
The apples of Hesperus.
Hercules had to kill a dragon called Ladon to get the apples of Hesperus.
It was guarded by a big wall.
He had to kill it with a bow and arrow.
Hercules killed the first 2 but missed the last 2.
Hercules finally killed the last 2.
Hercules got the apples and completed his labour.
The catcher of Cerebrus.
The 12th labour was the hardest labour of all. Hercules had saw a big, ugly, 3-headed creature standing before him. The creature started to charge at Hercules. Then he got his sword out and chopped him in pieces. Hercules lived for many more years and completed many more amazing feats. When he died, he lived with the gods on Mount Olympus.